This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, Nick Cage as Spider-Man, Ultraman, Gundams, Faith, Top Gun, the week's NerdOns, Mailbag, news, and the review of Ant-Man and Wasp. How do we fit it all in?
Welcome to Nerds Who Get Laid
Sometimes.
I am your host, Nathan. I know it's a sad thing to hear.
We need to save that for later in the podcast too.
That should just be after everyone's nerd on. Well, I've been working a lot this week. That's pretty much the sound when I ejaculate. Because my penis is actually a trumpet.
I thought it was underwhelming, but go ahead.
It's a little bit of both.
So I guess you can't, like, low-key come.
Yeah.
Nathan's jacking off.
I was really good in band practice, so I got a lot done. Played the hell out of that trumpet. That horn. I was tooting it. Oh, man. All of us are back. I have returned from
Mexican prison. That was the narration we went with.
Yeah. Thank you
That's
for
the narrative.
not keeping my secret.
I thought it was pretty accurate.
It was. I felt like I was locked up for 4 days, and
All the liquor you can drink. What hell?
it was
Unlimited buffets. Oh my God.
He didn't mention that it was all Mad Dog
Infinite
2020.
sunsets. Oh no.
yeah. There's a lot of good soft serve ice cream. I will say that.
It was prison then.
They couldn't even spring for the real stuff.
Nah.
Oh,
It was Mexican ice cream. That stuff.
That
looks
stuff's
the same
awesome.
going in as it does going
flowing
out.
through you.
Mexican ice cream I know is like the fried ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Much better.
That's
You know,
so good.
I was so disappointed by fried ice cream because I didn't realize that they just put corn flakes in the ice cream and drop it and then call it. I was like, what this is terrible.
What do you think it was like? Never mind.
I don't know what I thought. I didn't know
They're
what
just
to
gonna
think.
deep fry frozen ice cream and it'll be okay.
It was like going to be breaded, like a batter and thrown in there.
No, I just didn't know what to expect, and I hate cornflakes, so I was like, this is not what I wanted.
What if they were frosted
You were
flakes?
picky as hell.
No,
Yes.
Fried ice cream is delicious.
You're
I've had some
socially
that-
picky, Chuck.
Yeah,
that- good point.
You're too
Yeah.
good to do stuff except for wear pink-ass hats.
Hey,
I can't get over that hat.
Well, you also
just
hasn't been
accept it.
late in 11
2018.
years either. So
Oh, that's true. Okay, fair enough. He's counting on his fingers. He's double-checking. It might be 12.
It might be longer.
No. Yeah, it is longer if I'm going by months, weeks, and days.
Jesus. Just pull out your
Yeah.
calendar app on your phone that has been laid last time. Womp, womp, womp.
You know, we've given you like a good 2 years. Excuse me.
Especially as often as Mike offers to take care of you.
Hey man, a hole's a hole, brother.
Hey, that's the truth
That's what
right there.
that guy at the gas station tells me, at least.
So, guys, I really want to give a quick shout-out to Greg Steele for all the support he's been giving us.
Greg Steele.
Oh, God, that's a good Greg Steele voice.
That really was.
Black Wind Fire and Greg Steele. Steele.
He's been
Some man of war there.
giving us some good shout-outs, and I listened to the podcast the other week that you guys
Yeah, I
talked about.
listened to it last week.
I just had to say I wanted to give him my own personal shout-out and say, thanks, Greg. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
But enough about us. Let's get on to the NerdOns.
Get your nerd on. 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 Get your nerd on.
All right. This is our Nerd On, where we tell you about the stuff that we've been doing and just, living that culture of being losers.
that nerd culture.
We'll get it started with Mr. Ray Hancock.
.h. Okay. TV shows I watched this week. I started Cloak and Dagger last week while I was waiting for the podcast to upload. And I watched through all of it. It's on Freeform, which I thought was like a kids network or a teen network.
But I thought it was ABC Family at one point or something like that.
Maybe, I don't know. It's Disney's Freeform. So I thought this was going to be a lot lighter than it was, and a lot more like cheesy, like teenage. But there's like people like trying to commit suicide, and like a brother's been murdered.
It's fucking Cloak and Dagger, dude.
Yeah, but I was expecting it to be a lot more light.
The subject matter being on that channel was kind of weird.
It was on Freeform. It's really not, and some of it's kind of trippy. It's not bad. It's so far I'm liking it.
Are exposed to a lot worse
That's
things.
True.
Than
That's
we are.
true.
I mean, you've seen Glee, right?
I've seen parts of Glee. And
Same stuff.
The credits.
Yeah,
That's what TJ calls his butthole. Glee.
I've seen part of it.
Some days.
I've seen a lot of Glee then.
Apparently, so I have a bunch of kids, as he was over here implying.
So yeah, I've run through all of the current episodes that are up on Hulu.
Must be tired.
I'm enjoying it so far. Riverdale season 2's been up on Netflix for a little while, and me and Allison finally launched into it earlier in the week. And God,
how far did you go?
3 or 4 episodes in, maybe.
Netflix and chill.
A minor launch then.
Yeah. We haven't really gone all the way through it, but
I don't like that show. I've tried to watch it.
Oh,
it's very boring.
I really, it's Dawson's Creek meets, oh God, I had to
90210?
No, Twin Peaks.
Melrose Place?
It's Twin Peaks meets Dawson's Creek. So it's like, got the teenagey angst stuff, but it's still like weird and a little creepy sometimes, like Twin Peaks.
My acne is so weird. Where did it come from?
And then me and Allison started Evil Genius on Netflix.
Yes.
So like Baby
afternoon.
Geniuses?
It's a lot like Baby Geniuses.
Or Real
It's actually pretty much the exact same thing.
It's a documentary
It's a
on
behind-the-scenes documentary about Baby Geniuses.
It's a documentary on Netflix about a weird case where someone is attached to a bomb and sent on this
locked around their neck, Ray.
Locked around their neck in like a handcuff.
Pizza delivery man.
A pizza delivery man, and is sent on a scavenger hunt to find keys to get out of it. And the first scavenger part he goes to, he's supposed to rob a bank, and he gets stopped there and gets blown the fuck up
with an umbrella shotgun.
A cane shotgun.
He has a loaded
cane shotgun. It is. We're only 2 episodes in because we just started it this afternoon, and it is crazy.
Well,
it is so
very
insane.
long if you died in the first thing.
Well, he dies, and then other people die. It's
the conspiracy that goes behind it. It just becomes. At first, they're like, who is this? And there's all these other things that are going on inside this town at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they find out where the man was hijacked, and everything was, the collar was put around his neck. It was by the satellite. And a couple days later, maybe it was a month later, I don't remember the exact timeline. Ray, you might just watch it. They get a call from this other guy. He's like, hey, this girl killed her boyfriend, and he's been in my freezer, and she wants me to get rid of him. I need to turn around.
I need to come clean.
And they don't connect the dots at all.
And it's the house that the person's at is right beside where they had.
It's literally the house you turn by to go where they tied the bomb around this dude's neck.
So this pizza delivery guy was put in this contraption, blown the fuck up. This other dude was killed, and another pizza delivery guy died or
kills himself.
Possibly kills himself, possibly was poisoned, possibly just overdosed. Like all within, I think the boyfriend was killed 3 weeks later. The whole thing with
before everything happened,
he was killed 3 weeks before it happened, and then 3 weeks after all of it happened was when the guy called and said, "Hey, this is going on." Then in between that,
it's very hard to follow.
It's a crazy timeline.
No, I mean your story's very hard to follow.
My stories are always hard to follow.
The guy did this, and then the other guy did that.
The timeline is what you see is so
basically somebody out there is making a bunch of people do illegal shit under threat of death.
And of course I think the ATF gets involved because there's a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But also you have the federal jurisdiction because there's a bank, and then there's the local jurisdiction because there's murder and everything. So they're all kind of fighting over who's this is going to be, who's going to take lead. And there's all these different people dying, and they're not connecting the dots to anything.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of unveiling and going further and further into the mystery of like what exactly happened here, because the pizza delivery guy who is murdered, they find he had like a 5-page just like
ransom note
for essentially like step 1, step 2, step 3, because the caller had 3 keys in the back, and he was supposed to go to each of these locations to get a key, and that's how he was going to get the bomb off. Because while he's sitting there, like, he's very calm, because this was all on live TV. You see this guy sitting there, he's like, "Can you guys get this off, please? Please get this off." And then it starts
maybe
beeping.
You guys can go find the rest of these keys for me.
And it starts beeping. He's like, then he really starts freaking out, and then it fucking explodes. And, of course, they have to take the dude's head off to get the contraption off because they need to keep it together. So they do that all in front of all these people. So it's the craziest story, and it all revolves around this genius woman who's also batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah.
She looks like the cat lady from Simpsons. But
she does.
But she has like a super high IQ. She's murdered 3 of her boyfriends like in her life.
Yeah, and by this point, when where I'm at in the story, where they found out that her boyfriend was murdered and put into a freezer, and this other guy was like giving her up, she has already gotten off for killing another one of her boyfriends because she was crazy.
I'm telling you, just Evil Genius is on there, and it gets crazier. We are given just the little notes of what that's about. I just sat there watching, going, it can't get crazier. It just got crazier. Like,
it is absolutely bonkers.
Shit got real.
This week also, I did read some comics. I went and picked up Captain America #1 by Coates, who was working on the Black Panther comic, and gave it a read. And Cosmic Ghost Rider #1. Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course, is from the Thanos Wins story arc by Donny Cates, and everyone loved the idea of him so much that he now has his own series.
Yeah.
That storyline is over and done with. I think it's coming out in trade soon. But I was reading issue 13 and 14 of that because it's now on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, his first appearance in trade should be out in like a week or so.
In a week or so?
Yeah, because I have it pre-ordered already.
Yeah, so I've read the first 2 issues of Thanos Wins, which is excellent. Anything Donny Cates is writing right now, he's doing Venom. He just finished up his Thanos run, and I know he's doing the Cosmic Ghost Rider. But anything you see his name attached to, go ahead and pick it up because it's going to be gold.
So do you like the idea of who the Ghost Rider is for that?
Yeah. So this is a little bit of a spoiler for something that's like 6 months, 8 months old or something.
8 months.
That's right. I'd rather you say it so I don't get blamed for spoiling shit.
But they go through and there's...
God damn it, Chuck, you made Ray spoil it.
Ghost Rider is a cosmic being now because he was working with Galactus. He was as a herald.
Please tell me the fire is now just multicolor rainbow.
No. But he does wear like...
He was multicolored now.
And he wears like a dome, and he has a cosmic motorcycle now. His chains are made out of the bones of who's the guy that gives Juggernaut his power? Cetrac. Yeah, they're made out of the bones of Cetrac, and Thanos has won everything. So now Ghost Rider is just like hanging out with him and is just kind of doing his bidding. He has part of the time gem, so he can travel through time. And it turns out that he's Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember hearing about this.
Nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is after all of that. Apparently, he dies and goes to Valhalla. And he's been living in Valhalla, and he's like pissed and just beating the shit out of gods in Valhalla because he's pissed. So Odin's like, "I'm kicking you out of Valhalla," and it's all of that.
Where am I gonna live now?
Well, Odin's in Valhalla.
Where am I supposed to go? Where's all my stuff?
So that story has been also crazy, but excellent.
This is on Unlimited?
Yeah, the first 2 are. The Cosmic Ghost Rider is brand new this week.
Ray, when did you switch from fabulous to excellent?
I do a like.
I haven't heard you say fabulous in quite a while.
Well, I wonder why.
But I've heard excellent.
X-Men Blue #18 is still part of the Cross Time Caper. They show up the issue before they were dealing with
puberty.
What was it?
Oh no!
I talked about it. It was really cool.
I just turned 13 and things are starting to change.
That's basically the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's
X-Men.
But they show up during the time of Generation X, and they're
Generation
like hanging out with all of that. But time is being screwed up really bad because
69.
they've been out of time for so long, and they just got back to where they were taken from, which was this is of course the.
Have you said anything of substance?
How do you always stretch your nerd-ons into 30 minutes? And
because of stuff like this.
And I know nothing about what you said.
Ray talks, and I'm just like,
they got into time.
Yeah, it's the original 5 time displaced X-Men, and they've been taken back to the time they were originally taken from.
So they
by
went back.
Beast. They're from the future, but now they're back in the past. It's the X-Men. I shouldn't try to explain it
you
ever.
should not.
They have an entire podcast dedicated to that.
That's true.
Yeah. And you're not as entertaining as they are either.
Batman and Catwoman. I read Batman 50. This was a huge deal that was actually spoiled by the New York Times, I believe.
Yeah. Was it the wedding?
Yeah, this was supposed to be the wedding episode of Batman between Batman and Catwoman that they've been building up to. Spoilers, it didn't happen. It was an issue that they put out all of these tons of variants up until it's issue number 50, and of course Selina leaves him at the altar. So
was he dressed as Batman?
He wasn't. He specifically wasn't.
That's disappointing.
He was in a suit with a bat mask on.
And I read the Catwoman number 1, which is
literal bat suit.
That would have been much more entertaining, I think.
Probably. I actually thought a lot of people like Tom King, and I like a lot of the stuff that he does, but I thought that issue was pretty horrible. It wasn't anything of substance.
Did you read the lead-up stuff?
I didn't. I probably should. But
I read an article. I read something where he was talking about how that issue on its own is not very good. Well, and he admits it, and he says you have to read the lead up to see why this happened.
He's also said that this is like 100-issue arc that he's working on right now. Give it time. So, and I mean, he's 50 in now, so he's halfway there.
Quality over quantity.
The Captain America number 1 I read. I also wasn't a fan of that. I didn't like most of the stuff that I've read of Coates that did Black Panther. He's a good author. He's just kind of not for me. It is.
Which Cap is this? Is this Falcon Cap? Or
no. This is Steve Cap again.
Okay.
Yeah, because all of their going back, I forget what they're calling it.
Oh, Legacy.
Not Legacy.
Generations?
No, not Generations. It's the new thing that they're doing.
First Contact?
No.
Frontier?
Yeah. And Moon Knight, read Moon Knight 190, which the Moon Knight stuff, almost any of that is really, really good. So pick that up if you're interested. I've been really enjoying that. Went and watched Ant-Man and Wasp this week. That was great. We'll probably get into that a little bit more. Also went and watched the documentary Won't You Be My Neighbor about Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And that was excellent.
They kept his Viet Cong stuff in there, right?
No.
When he was in the VC?
Yeah.
No.
Killing Americans?
They did go into a lot of that there are all these rumors that he was in the military and he was tatted out and all that, and they're like, none of that is true. Mm-hmm. He was a rich kid, and he was kind of sickly when he was a kid and stuff, and he wanted to help people. But I just got this sense from watching a lot of the interviews that were in it and everything that he was way smarter than most people gave him credit for. Mm. He seemed incredibly intelligent, and it seemed like a lot of the stuff that he was doing just from the outside might seem accidental, or just like, oh, he's just using puppets. Oh, he's just, he's talking to kids being simple and stuff like this. But it seemed like everything was very, very intentional, the way he did everything. But the documentary is so good. So good. So I would absolutely 100% recommend it. I think it's on a very limited release now. I think they've expanded it a little bit. But if you get a chance, go check that out. And then we played Imperial Assault again last night.
Well, when you said we...
I mean, me and Nathan,
3 people,
and Mike, and that was
TJ had a plausible excuse.
Thank you.
Someone else in here didn't though, but I can't remember who.
We won't point out names. Let's just call him Charles Devereaux. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I said his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I will say, like, especially after playing last night and the games we've been playing, this is probably my favorite right now. I really like Scythe. I like all these, but I like the mechanics of this. I like the team style of, you know, being able to work with everybody, and I just really enjoy that.
I like ganging up on Ray.
Yes, that the most.
That is probably far my favorite.
Gang on Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just something about just, you know, making Ray not win.
Specifically Ray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, I like the characters. It's the mechanics at first seem complicated, but once you know what they do, it's very just fun.
Yeah.
Some strategy to it, and you always feel like you're going to just get fucked because the Empire really does bring it down hard.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to dice rolls. And
Yes.
dice rolls are fickle mistresses.
Did any of y'all get pissed off in this game?
No.
Okay.
No.
I got
TJ
pissed off
wasn't
that
there.
you weren't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there was pissed off people at you, but like
No,
the game.
I'm playing the game.
We did kill
Okay.
TJ's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed him off in spirit
Is she
of TJ.
dead or
Nah.
No, it's like a Marvel storyline.
No.
It's
I
more
thought
like
you said they get like knocked out or something like that until the next.
Yeah.
They're like,
game.
but they still get all the points for winning and stuff because we did win. We
Won again.
yeah.
Second time.
Good job.
I'll have to bring it hard next time.
Sex
Mike
tape.
was killing his rolls.
His defense
God.
rolls were monster. He kept just so like in this game, if you roll an attack, you get a die the roll for defense, and it can be 1 through 3. I think is the most 3
Yeah.
deflection. And Mike kept just rolling fucking threes. It was
and also like he would get the
Nice job, Mike.
the white dice,
Yeah.
and which had a complete evade, and he rolled that like multiple times.
Oh, it's like his Axis and Allies rolls in.
yeah,
This
pretty
dude
much.
was fucking murdering on Axis and Allies.
Yeah.
power of positive thinking.
I'm pretty sure he
fellas.
just nukes the dice when we're not around. He's
brings
like,
his own
My
dice.
hands
I
are so hot.
I rolled another 3. Whoa, crazy. So that's a fun game. If you play tabletop, I know you've heard us talk about it. I would highly suggest this 1 out of all the games. It's a lot of fun, especially with some friends.
I think that's other than we played Turtles too, which is an all verse one.
Yeah.
So we have played other ones that are like that.
Like I said, compared to this, I did not like Turtles. I
I
felt
think
Turtles,
the mechanics on Turtles were a little.
especially for being like first level, Turtles was very, very hard.
Yeah.
And this one, while
Turtles
difficult,
has a little bit more. I think Turtles has a little bit more. I don't know, a different thing going on because it's a
Especially
lot more
with the
teamwork.
thing.
Yeah, because you have to share your abilities
Yeah,
with everyone else except for Raph.
yeah. I think I enjoy Turtles too.
I didn't think Turtles was bad, but we lost, so therefore I hate that game.
Yeah,
Must hate a lot of games.
I do.
It's a game of life.
That's the biggest one I hate right now. All right, Mike, what you been doing over there, buddy?
It's been an action-packed week.
Whoa! Tell us about it.
Oh,
I'll tell you. Monday,
Holy shit!
went home.
What did you do?
I popped in Last of Us Remastered.
No shit!
And been playing the fuck out of that, man.
Good God, man!
And it is a lot shorter game than I remember.
What? Yeah,
are you done with it already?
No, but
okay.
I started it Sunday or Monday, and I've been playing it on and off, and I'm pretty much already to the hospital at the end of the game. Yeah, and I just finished that part where you're running through the snowy mountain pass, and you're yelling like, "Where is she?" And the dudes are like, "Oh my god, he's coming!" And it's just amazing.
That game is one I fell victim to where I would get like really good powers, but I would hold on to them. I kept hoarding, waiting to really need them, and I never
You need
would
them
use
all
them.
the time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't use them. I'm like, well, I can get through this one instead of like.
I'm so bad about that in games.
Yeah, I've been slowly trying to break the habit. I'm sorry, keep going.
Well, no, it's fine. That's the podcast we're allowed to discuss. I'm just going to read a list of my things. I don't want any comments. No, so I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm definitely amped up for Last of Us 2. And it's on PS4, so they've polished it up a little bit. Game's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Even for a PS3 game, it is phenomenally beautiful.
It looks so good because that was one of the last big launches for PS3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Naughty Dog, so, they don't look good. But
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
it was just... I love that game. It's fantastic. So Tuesday, Nate Dogg and I went to go see Sicario 2, Day of the Soldado.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good movie. I enjoyed it.
Very heavy movie. Like,
yes.
They made us carry it all the way up to the second floor. I didn't think that they'd be so. I thought they were digital now, but we had to carry it, so it was a heavy movie. And the content of the movie was also pretty
reels.
Heavy.
Yeah. But I can't say much about it. I mean, if you enjoyed the first one, I feel that the quality was almost there, but I feel it's just because it was a different director, so slightly different vision.
Yeah.
And the focus of the movie was a little different from the last one. But overall, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was one of those movies where I thought I went in expecting a completely different movie, is what it was for me. I had enjoyed this movie. I didn't think it was bad at all. But I thought we were going to just get all this, like, pretty much shadow government of, like, starting this war and craziness going on, and it was more of a rescue mission that it turned out to be of Del Toro trying to...
Well, don't go into it too far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, this isn't a spoiler. I mean, it's like him trying to get this girl back to Mexico, essentially. And craziness ensues.
So you hated it because it was about Mexico.
Yeah, I was still real fresh from the cruise. And, I will say there's nothing fun here.
Nathan just shaking his fist off camera out in the ocean slightly.
So it's almost as good as the first one?
Yeah, I definitely like the first one better, but this one was good. It was worth the watch, and actually is one that I'd like to watch again just to take it in, all the content, and watch it again. I will say there's nothing cooler than watching Josh Brolin walk in with cargo shorts and friggin' Crocs, just like strutting through the desert, and then he goes into a room and starts pretty much torturing a dude. Like, mentally, it was so badass.
Throwing his dick around.
Yeah, just
like, that's what's going to happen, boy.
Yeah. Man. Like, the acting of the movie was top tier. Very good acting. Like, so, yeah, I agree with Mike. If you enjoyed the first one, you should definitely check this one out.
Okay. Well, then Wednesday, which was 4th of July.
Shut the front door. Your month's still going.
I had a pool party at my house.
That's right.
So I invited the nerd crew. Everyone showed up.
Surprisingly.
The significant others showed up as well.
Yes.
We had minimal children. That's good. Maximum drinks and fun times.
There was a lot of drinks.
Yes, a lot of drinks. There were some very provocative and also masculine photos taken. Yes. Which I enjoyed thoroughly.
You might be able to find one of those at least on Instagram by now.
Floating around a few times.
I put a few up on Grindr. 5 men looking for some parties. My phone blew up.
I don't want to say too much skin, but I mean, not much is left to the imagination, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Chuck left his shirt on, though.
You put Chuck in a Speedo. I mean...
I was just surprised Chuck left his shirt on, that just bright white shirt. Just like
that shows I don't go out in the sun much.
Okay. Yeah, you had a serious farmer's tan. It was impressive.
I give mayonnaise a tan, all right?
Yeah. It's weird because all you saw were just really tanned arms and legs, and then just this like transparent, it's like hooked to invisible. It's
I could see his blood moving.
Weird. This dick had a tan though. I don't know what that's about.
Just because he's always walking around hanging neck.
Well, you almost killed Chuck with that one.
I almost spit summer ale everywhere.
I want to get a nose take from Chuck one day. You got to wait for the perfect joke, and I just want beer to splash out of his nose.
No, it's going to burn.
That's the point. We want you to hurt.
So good.
Then
and squirt.
Thursday.
Moving on down the line.
It was Thursday. We saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, as you heard. It was quite good. Basically, to give you a rundown of the story, they're stuck in time, and they're trying to get back to the original time. Do you see how uninteresting that is, Ray? I just want. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
I hate you.
But he loves you.
I love you, Ray. I just want to criticize you until you change for the better. And by the better, I mean what I want you to do. But it was a highly enjoyable movie. I put it on the same level as the first Ant-Man, so a lot of fun, a lot of cool action, a lot of smart visuals, playing with the powers and everything was really cool. The designs were awesome, like Ghost and the Wasp's outfit. So we'll probably get into it more later in the podcast, but I definitely recommend it. It was excellent and
fantastic.
Yeah, and I like how they also connected it to other Marvel Cinematic movies.
Yeah.
So that was really nice as well. But that's my nerd on.
Charles.
I started this week because I bought it a couple weeks ago. The South Park, the fractured butthole, and I got the downloadable code for the Stick of Truth. So I started the Stick of Truth first because I never played it.
Yeah,
been out of South Park for a long time, but there's times I'm playing the game and I'm just like, I'm just jaw open. I'm like, they really put this in here.
Mm-hmm.
And
he hasn't played any South Park games since the Nintendo 64 turkey shoot.
Yeah, and I'm
that's
just
the only one I ever played.
But
it was terrible.
Yeah,
this one's good. Nate, if you get a chance,
because now I'm going through now, just finishing some of the side quests.
Very solid RPGs.
Yeah,
it was, but I didn't use any other characters besides the main one in Stan. When I got to use Stan, I didn't use Cartman or Kyle.
We don't expect anything creative from you, so that's pretty normal.
Well, I tried Butters. I was like, whatever. But
well, gee,
it's a 4-year-old
too
game.
much like me.
It's a 4-year-old game, but I really don't have much to say about it. But it was hilarious. So I'm probably gonna end up
Butters
starting
my favorite.
Charles is
the holy damage with his hammer. His special Dr. Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
God, Professor Chaos. My bad. I'm not in tune to South Park as much, but
well, let's be educated when you talk about your nerd on.
I'm sorry. Well, I've also been pushing through Luke Cage season 2.
Don't give me a plot rundown of Terminator 2, Blaze.
I'm not.
Just give me some cold hard facts.
I'm not a big fan of this season so far. It seems like it's taken a while to get into.
Too many black folk.
I think I'm finished episode 6 or 7.
Okay, yeah, we haven't gone past 2 yet. Allison is uninterested, and so I'm probably just going to start watching it myself.
Watch it, but my thing is, like, I don't really care about Luke Cage in this season now.
Which is kind of how I felt like with some of the other, like Daredevil. I don't care about Daredevil in Daredevil. I like the people around him.
But it's just like, even though the focus it's Luke Cage, but it's like the stuff that's going on with Misty, and then also Shades and Mariah. I'm more invested in them. In Bushmaster, I'm like, he's not Cottonmouth.
You are.
Yeah,
but he's pretty good.
He's not Cottonmouth, but he's still good. But I'm like, I just don't give a shit about Luke Cage in this season at all.
Yeah.
And he's just now finally, I think, like I said, I'm either finishing episode 6 or 7. I'm starting to actually kind of care about Luke Cage now.
What you mean you don't like me, motherfucker?
Holy shit, he's back.
Man.
You don't like my show, bitch? I've been making that show, goddammit.
It's a guy with indestructible skin.
Yeah, bitch, it's indestructible. Come over here and punch me in my dick.
And the one thing that affected him in season 1
with your mouth
does nothing to him in the second season.
He got tougher.
Yeah. But you have but he literally gets knocked the fuck out by a dude in the season 2.
Well, we haven't seen it.
He got knocked out with a shotgun.
God, spoilers, Chuck.
In Daredevil.
No, this was dude just knocked him out. Walked up and literally bitch slapped him and knocked him out.
Was it Ivan Drago?
No. But
that would have been great.
The music, I think, in this season's better. There is a lot more Jamaican vibe to it.
Yeah, because of Bushmaster.
Yeah.
But episode 2, the music was
Call me now for your free ass whooping.
But
I'm Bushmaster.
But so far, it's looking like
bomba clot.
Season 2 is flipped for me, like how season 1 was. The first half was amazing, and the second half of season 1 kind of I didn't care about.
Gotcha.
It looks like it's changing. It's like it's flipping for me. The first half of season 2 has not been impressive,
and the second half's
and
really
now
good.
It's starting to pick up.
You should change your nerd on to entertaining.
Oh, you got the butter over there.
But
what the fuck was that?
Everyone else has been
Irish Mario.
I don't know. But also
to me, Mario.
I smoke a weed and eat the potatoes.
I also joined in the festivities of seeing Ant-Man and Wasp this week.
Ant-Man and
Talk
Wasp.
about later on, and I actually showed up for the pool party, an event.
5 hours late.
but I did
5
work.
hours.
Oh,
late.
I did work.
An exception
I
to
did
the
work,
rule.
But I did show up.
Quick poll,
I did show up.
listeners. If you're invited to something 2 weeks prior, shouldn't you be able to get there on time? Just write in and let us tell Chuck how wrong he is.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Please.
keep going.
I
Now.
still made it.
All of you, write in and tell us how wrong Chuck
I got
is.
paid and I still made it.
Chuck, in the words of my music appreciation teacher, Mervyn Allen Jones, he would say,
Is that a real name?
Oh, Mo Jones?
excuses only satisfy those who make them.
Mm.
And also-
Deep thoughts with
That's
Michael
deep.
Laminack.
And also,
But
don't mess my gusto.
I didn't miss the party. I still made it. You missed.
Side note: when I started
I
working at
made
Verizon, they had the Gusto phone. It would crack me up. I'd be like, "Don't mess with my Gusto."
They still have the gusto phone last time I checked.
And the last thing I've done this week so far, I saw it. What? Murder or work? Would you say anything?
I didn't say
Same
either.
thing.
Okay,
Because
well,
you
it's
do
one and the same. But
Butcher large corpses of animals.
but I
Vegans
got
would say
a
you murder.
notification from Audible. It's like their deal of the day book or whatever Friday, and $4. I'm like, you know what? I'll check it out. It was a horror book. The Troop by Nick
A
Cutter.
horror book?
Horror.
Horror?
Yes.
Horror.
Yeah.
Horror.
So I'm like, all right, $4. I mean, how bad can it be?
I mean, a $4 horror is pretty bad.
Yeah. Surprisingly, this book has been really good. I've got about 4 hours left in it. It's really short. It's about 11 hours long. If
On a
you
scale
have
of 1 to
Audible,
10, how much is your fear boner been?
I'd probably give it a 7 because it's just like the awkwardness of.
4.
So you're walking around work with a 7 fear boner? Jesus.
Well, I'm not really walking. I'm staying in one area and it's cold, so it's restricting the blood flow. So it's
You're
not really
sitting
a
there
full
chopping
boner.
meat
When I
with
could
your
be
meat
beating
out.
my meat.
How do you think he was cutting all the the steaks and stuff? He's using his hard knife-like penis,
Like-
his natural knife.
like-
Some would say.
The knife from 7, that's like he just puts around his cock and he goes in there chopping wood.
The knife dick.
The knife
Yeah.
dick.
Would y'all like a summary of what the book is?
No.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying because Mike, you said it was the guy. Like you said it was deep as shit. The author.
That was a direct quote. Deep as shit.
It sounds about like a mic review.
That's a mic review.
Yeah, man, it's deep as shit.
It was on the cover.
No, I was
Deep
saying
as
that.
Cutter some hardcore shit is what you said.
Yeah, Cutter does. Cutter focuses a bit too much on violence for me, but his books are very well done and can also be very psychological.
Yeah, which this one it's leading a little more towards that, in my opinion, physical to psychological.
That's usually where it goes. I think the Troop was specifically psychological because it was a bunch of Boy Scouts
Yeah.
in the woods, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah, it's like the easiest way for me to describe it to somebody is like Lord of the Flies meets
mean like late 80s Boy Scout camping trips or like...
they were like Lord of the Flies meets genetic mutation.
Oh.
Is this what
Lord
the
of
book you're
the
reading about, or are we
Wait,
talking
Lord
about
of the
other books?
Flies meets The Fly.
No,
Fuck you, then.
it was $4. It was pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to say anything about the book because I always get fucking railed by you guys if I spoil anything. So I haven't found the means of describing it without spoiling.
What we
How
need
was
to
Gina
do for you,
Davis?
what
How
you need
was
to
Gina Davis's part in it?
Anyway, keep
I know what
going,
you're doing.
Chuck.
what we need to do is get to a happy medium between entertaining and not spoiling.
Well, pretty much it's these Boy Scouts and their scout leader. They go every year to this cabin off in Canada.
Camp Good Times.
No, I'm out already.
No.
I'm not
And-
entertained.
So,
Pretty much
ignore
they're
him,
there
Chuck.
for like
He's making
they're
a
there
joke
for a
about
few days,
Canada.
and this guy arrives on the island they're on.
Hey, what you guys doing over here, huh? You going
And-
camping? What you boot to do?
Going camping? Hey,
He's asking for food. He's asking food. He's
You got
hungry.
Tim
He's hungry,
Hortons?
but he's like
Hungry
literally
over
like his body is eating itself. So
Oh, gee, thanks.
I want to talk about. I can't say anything
Oh,
else
it's
about the
okay
book.
over there, man. You're doing a good job.
Eh?
Yeah. Does the reader have a nice Canadian accent? Because then I will listen.
No.
Fuck that.
how
book then.
often is the word hoser used?
Hey, you
None.
hoser, you better stop killing me, huh?
And it also how the book goes also is as it's going, then the next like they'll have like a section of the chapter. It's like police report and it's breaking down the evidence of all the stuff that had happened.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's that, like I said, Lord of the Flies, genetic mutation, government conspiracy, and cover up. It's like just it was $4, so
Doesn't sound like a bad $4 read for 10 hours of content.
Yeah, and I'm not done with it yet. So it's literally it's starting.
What was the name of the book again?
The Troop.
The Troop.
It starts okay, and then it just slowly starts going down and down and down. And it's like what these kids are doing at a certain point and keep going is like, well, shit. How much worse can it get?
Gotcha.
It can get a lot worse.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right, what else you got?
That's my nerd on.
Mr. TJ. Ooh.
Okay, I got
Mr. TJ.
quite a few things on this
Yes, he
one.
does.
Well, Ray
Mr.
took up all the
TJ.
time, so
I'll try to make it quick.
yeah.
That's what she said.
So
this.
this week, new stuff that came in. Got Commander Luke Skywalker from Sideshow, the Hoth version. Very fun figure. When I got the figure, I was like, well, need a Tauntaun, so I got one of the Hasbro 12-inch Tauntauns to go with it.
Does it have those lying around?
Huh?
Does it have those lying around?
Yeah, they just have them lying around somewhere. And then probably one of the best face sculpt figures I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
The Hot Toys Yondu.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is...
That Michael Rooker is amazing looking.
Good God. Every year, I mean, they have like one of these figures that comes out and you're like, Jesus, it's like magic or something that they do, or like black magic trying to get this face sculpt just right, and they nailed this one.
Because last year, everyone, I don't know if it was the face sculpt specifically, but they were saying the Doctor Strange was like the figure of the year.
Yeah.
Because it had so much cool stuff in it. But this Yondu looks incredible.
Yeah. Katie and I went to Coliseum of Comics, or one of the Coliseum of Comics in
One of the
Orlando.
many.
And she picked up Lady Mechanica #1.
Which I also picked up this week.
Yep. And the latest issue of Saga. She hasn't read them, so I don't know how they are. And while we were down there, we stopped by the Lego store because that's what we do.
Lego.
And the first set we got was an exclusive that you can only get at the Lego corporate stores. It's basically a Lego version of a corporate store.
Okay.
So,
And you have to put together the terms and conditions.
Is that where the May I Speak to
Nice,
Your Manager person came from?
No, that came from the other set.
That was a great...
The other set that we got is the new Lego roller coaster.
Looks badass.
Yeah, this thing is... Let me get the piece count on it.
It was 4 something you told me earlier.
4,124 pieces.
It's a lot of pieces.
How does that compare to the Death Star?
Death Star was about 5,000 pieces.
Okay, so almost the same.
So this one's a
little
walk
less.
in the park.
Yes, it is.
Simple. Already put together, probably.
If
Comes
only.
pre-assembled.
Can I get one of these put together? I just want to display it.
47 individual bags of Lego pieces in it.
Oh, wow.
That seems
Yeah.
a
Excessive.
lot. Yeah.
And then I forget how many minifigures were in it, but it's
Enough
so
for an
far.
entire theme park.
One of the
800,000
really cool
minifigures.
things about it is it works like a real roller coaster. So there's a chain, and you can get one of the Lego Motors sets to go with it that you can hook up to this chain that'll pull the carts up to the top of the drop, and then it'll drop and just go around the track just like a real roller coaster will.
That's pretty
pretty
cool,
cool.
man.
Yeah, so
Insane.
we're doing a stop motion, or not a stop, time lapse video of it.
Mhm.
Obviously, we'll put up on the Nerds Get Laid Instagram. Yeah. Well, you'll get to see it in person, Mike. So,
Gonna lure me with promises of roller coaster figures and scales.
went and saw Ant-Man Wasp with the Mike and Chuck and Ray, and flipped through Netflix, and I saw a classic movie on there I had to watch.
I need to watch that again.
Real Genius
Ooh, I love that movie.
with Val Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. It's been a while since I've seen all of it. Usually I pop in about the time where he's making the phone call home, but got to see everything this time. So
I usually catch it when they find Kim fucking with the laser and then the house full of popcorn. That's usually
yeah. And then changed our nighttime show from The Office. We're doing Great British Baking Show again.
So good.
Want to do it again?
Yeah, but it's inspiring Katie to make cookies and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm really enjoying it.
You made any biscuits?
No,
Okay.
Wait, aren't cookies biscuits?
no, they're
No,
different.
Biscuits are like a cracker type.
Yeah. They're sweet crackers.
Or savory.
Fucking idiot.
Or savory, yeah.
I think it's something to do with the textures and everything.
I prefer
how they
English
work.
muffins. Blueberry muffins.
Those crackers with like tea, like proper tea, is delicious. Actually,
Yeah.
It's a match made in heaven, if I do say so.
And then last been still blowing through Jay and Miles Explain the X-Men.
I actually
I'm
listened to an episode of that. Had no idea what was going on.
You have to start from the beginning. You have to start at the beginning.
I started at the
you
very
still
beginning.
won't know what's going on unless you've been
So,
involved with it.
Where are you at in that now, TJ?
Right before Fall of the Mutants.
Okay.
They're getting everything lined up for that, apparently. And then we also started Serial.
Which is excellent.
So about 3 episodes in on that. So if you want a couple of good podcasts to check out besides your favorite one that you're listening to right now, and check those out. Cool. Nate?
All right, that's everyone's nerd.
Oh, sorry.
Time
Ray with the
NerdOns this week.
Well, okay.
He's got like 4 weeks worth of NerdOns. Come on.
It's like how to make a shiv.
Don't worry.
How to
how to be
how
a
to
mule.
negotiate in Spanish.
Did you just whisper? Get the sound effect?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I was trying to get his
We have
attention to do
fucking
it.
microphones on everything. Anyway,
Get the sound effect
Hi.
ready. The horn.
don't worry, Chuck. I'm
Nate's.
not going to do 4 weeks of my nerd on
Why
because
not?
I don't have that good of a memory and I don't notate.
I thought you took notes.
Did you have technology? You
No.
couldn't type it on your phone?
Not during if I know I'm not going to be here, I don't notate it. So I did go on a cruise. That's all I got to say about it. But while on the
loved
cruise,
it.
I started
Yes.
reading the Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Gaiman.
And
Diamond.
very it's a cool book, man. I like Sam Keith. I'm halfway through it. Kind of a crazy premise, like in a good way. I like just the idea of this cult trying to summon death and capture them, and you accidentally get the Sandman. It's like it's like the lame runner-up thing. Like, oh, we got to do that makes us sleep, but then you see how kind of powerful he is. I finally beat the main storyline of Dying Light, and the whole time I've been playing it because when I got the Game of the Year or whatever it is, it's like crossbows, cars, and all this shit. I was like, where the fuck are these things at? And I Googled it, and they're like, no, you play the following. It's a secondary
It's a
story.
second game.
So I started that today, and it is pretty cool because I get to keep all of my levels and all my stuff, and I got a fucking like badass go-kart that I'm running around. It's plowing zombies through and shit. So it's pretty cool.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Didn't get to play that
If bring your Xbox, man, I'll let you update it. Or
with your PlayStation version.
no, I got Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought the Xbox on it. Started watching Frasier. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, it just
I like Frasier.
We've
but
rewatched so many of The Office and Parks and Recs, and it's just a good.
You need to find something.
I
It's good
recommend
enough.
Murphy Brown.
Yeah, I'm more of a Murphy Brown person than a Frasier
I've never watched Frasier before, so I might.
or Newhart.
Yeah, I grew
Night
up
Court,
watching. I grew up
Newhart.
watching Bob Newhart.
Mary Tyler Moore Show.
I grew up watching that. Nick at Night was what I grew up watching. Like
which Newhart though,
Matlock.
Nate? The Bob Newhart or Newhart? Was it the psychiatrist or the N? Okay,
psychiatrist. Yeah, psychiatrist one.
but yeah,
That and the black and white Dick Van Dyke Show. I loved those old things. Started Legion. I'm 3 or 4 episodes in now. I know that's been talked about, but man, it is a fucking crazy show.
Yeah, it really is.
I really dig it.
But a beautiful show. Like,
Yes.
it's shot really well.
Oh, it was shot so well.
Sarah, our friend Sarah Bushnell, she was talking about how much she enjoys that show, Legion.
It's badass. It's badass, man. Couple of books. So I finally finished The Outsider.
It's amazing, wasn't it?
I loved that book,
Yeah.
man. I loved the book so much. I went back and I'm now reading Mr. Mercedes, which is, I guess, it's slightly connected to The Outsider. Was her name Holly?
Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holly, who keeps talking about her old partner. That's who
With
Mr.
her
Mercedes
business,
is
finders
about.
keepers.
Yeah, and it's a cool story. I'm a little further in now where I can actually say I'm fully hooked in it.
Is it Stephen King?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
All of his stuff is so intertwined. I don't know how he keeps up with it.
I
you
think
read
it's
X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's always executed well. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe some of his stuff isn't either.
I read Stephen King very sporadically. I always enjoy his books, so I don't know why I don't do it more consistently. But the premise of this one is there's a giant job fair with thousands of people turning up. They've been there all night, and right as around 6 in the morning, they're standing there. All of a sudden, this giant Mercedes comes in and just plows through and kills a bunch of people, and the guy gets away.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, I think a year or so later, and you have the guy that was the head detective on it. I think his name's Hodges. His last name, I forget his first name.
Bill Hodges.
Bill Hodges. Yep. He's been sitting around, putting around, watching reality TV. He sits every day just playing with his dad's gun. He's pretty much made up that he's going to kill himself. He just doesn't know when, and just kind of gave up. He's getting fat, doesn't care, and he checks the mail one day, and there's a letter, and it's from Mr. Mercedes. And essentially, Mr. Mercedes is trying to goad. He thinks he's going to make Bill Hodges kill himself. That's what his plan is, because you also get the story from Mr. Mercedes' perspective. What it's really done is light a fire in Hodges' ass, where he's not wanting to watch TV. He puts the gun back in the safe. He's like, this guy's done fucked up. He's got me interested in the case again, because now I got a new lead, and that's where it's going from now. It's excellent. Pretty excellent. I mean, I like Stephen King books now. I don't know. His writing is even better. Like the character development, the story, because he's always been good. But I've read The Stand, Gerald's Game. I read a bunch of his. I don't know. What was that, like 80s, 90s stories?
Mm-hmm.
And I just love these so much more. They're excellent, I have to say.
Now, after Mr. Mercedes is Finders Keepers, and then what, Mike?
I think End of Watch.
End of Watch. Okay.
Yeah. And
More like he upped his game after he got hit by the van.
I mean,
Maybe.
I think so. I think he stopped drinking, so maybe
It
he
was
got
the
more.
perfect 1-star review. I have to get better at my job.
Because if you haven't read, when you're done with, are you going to read that trilogy, Nate?
Yes, that's my plan.
Once you're done with that, have you read Insomnia?
No, I haven't read any of those.
Mike will tell you that's a great book.
Insomnia is fantastic.
It is very good.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Excellently fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, but The Outsider,
Two-wheeler.
man, and I have to say the two-wheeler is the
Radical.
voice actor that dude is top notch.
Patton?
Yeah, he really he embodies those characters. He brings you in. It reminds me of like what it probably was like listening to old broadcast radio where they act stuff out because he does the voices so well. So it's a lot more
But that,
engaging.
it was crazy how his voice, he could do a female voice also.
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy.
Well,
him
like
doing that.
perfect example is when listening to The Outsider, when it would go to The Outsider, and that very low, soft-spoken, slow speaking he would do. It was so creepy.
He's like, why don't you come over
Yes.
here?
And it was just the perfect
You know
way
you
to
can't
make
hurt
that
me.
creepy villain and almost be scary.
Yeah, Will Patton's a fantastic narrator.
Top notch.
And,
Really is.
you're listening to like 1.5 or 1.25?
On these, I'm doing 1.25. Yeah, 1.25.
I dropped to 1.25 on the last couple
I'll
books
do
I've done.
1.5 if the narrator doesn't, if he's just okay, and I just want to kind of get through the story. But ones like this, I like to slow down, like really hear the performance on it.
Okay.
Like I recently just listened to a book where the person didn't do voices, and that sounds very childish, but I feel like it's lower quality.
It is. It really is. Like I think, especially fiction. If you're reading nonfiction, I don't mind if they just kind of just have a good voice and they just read. But on nonfiction, you want to really be, or I'm sorry, in fiction, you really want to be drawn in on the conversation. Besides that, sorry, my son's trying to talk to me. Get out of here, kid. You're not mine.
Nathan has a kid.
I've been watching a bunch of Vox videos. Does anybody here watch those?
I don't know what
VOX.
that is.
No, VOX.
Refresh
Yeah,
my
VOX.
memory.
Yeah,
That's what I just said.
so they're sorry, I thought you said BMX.
No,
So-
VOX.
yeah, VOX.
Been watching a lot of BMX
So
videos.
the best example is their little video essays. Their information. They take a
Okay.
topic. They're usually 5 to 10 minutes. But
Kind of like a TED Talk almost.
no, way more entertaining because there's a lot of graphics and stuff to go with
Gotcha.
it.
A TED essay.
Okay.
With that being said, they also teamed up with Netflix, and they have Vox Explains on Netflix. And those are a little longer. They're about 18, 20 minutes. They're like I said, just little, what did I do? Like, one of the ones that was really good I watched yesterday was about esports, or not, electronic sports. Is that what they call it for game when you play games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
esports. Like
StarCraft, like
Overwatch,
competitive
Yes,
StarCraft.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
kind of
esports.
breaking down how it started and where it is now
Korea.
because it's huge. Like even in America they're having like
It's growing big.
they're most likely in the next by 2020 is going to be, besides soccer, the biggest watched sport.
Yeah, they just had CEO in Daytona a couple weeks ago, which is just a huge fighting tournament.
Yeah.
Like super famous people within the fighting communities or live streaming communities, especially like fighting games like Street Fighter and Smash Brothers and stuff. Highly competitive. This year they even had some Japanese pro wrestlers come over there too and kind of mix both together. So it's
Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods went at it.
The thing that's so interesting about it is the developers essentially are the NBA, the teams, and the sport. They're all of it combined. A part where you have NBA who host the soccer, the teams, they put the rules and regulations. Then you have the teams that are owned by owners. And then, there's 3 tiers of sports. This is all contained by one person. So it's a lot. So it's it's a lot more interesting. But so they break these type of things down. Like another one I watched, which was really interesting, was on cruises. After getting back from the cruise, they're like, how do cruises work and make money? And they just break it down in a very simple, quick, and fun, like kind of just scratching the surface of like, I'm interested about this topic, and they deliver it well. I can't stop watching the videos. I will literally sit and watch 2 hours worth of these videos and go through, because it's everything from current politics to history to
adult YouTube.
It really, that's what it is. It's informative.
I think my guilty pleasure video watching has been watching Australians drop anvils and shit off of like a 45-meter tower onto things.
Wait, how did you start watching that?
I don't know. I just
wanted to drop an anvil off a giant tower.
I was over at a friend's house, and he's like, hey, have you ever seen these guys? They're from Australia. They have this giant tower, and they just drop shit off of it.
Yeah.
And we watched like 2 hours of that stuff.
Yeah. It's entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen a hydraulic press?
I was about to say, that is like hydraulic press, which is another great one.
Or the molten nickel dropped on shit?
That one's great too.
Yeah.
I love where he does it on an ice pond. Like it's just weird. So that's my nerd on.
Nerd on.
Boo! Not worth the wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's reading the news. You're gonna read the news now. Jimmy Ray is reading the news. Hey Ray, what type of news you got tonight? Well, I hope it's good. This is Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel. Ray's reading the news channel.
All right, guys. So we got some news to kick out this.
Some news?
Great Sunday. Some news. Yeah, not a ton this week, but that's all right. Star Wars Rebels Season 4 Blu-ray drops on July 31st. So that's mostly news for... Yeah.
Yeah, because you were asking about that like a month ago.
Like, I've been looking for
we've been waiting for it. So, yeah, I'm excited about that because if you haven't watched Rebels is excellent.
So is Clone Wars.
No, absolutely. Yeah, they're both excellent.
So you're not caught up. You're waiting for Season 4 to watch?
Yeah.
And have you seen Season 4?
No, I have not.
Season 4.
Okay, so you're both waiting for it. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah.
I don't know these things.
Netflix has announced that they're going to be coming out with a new Ultraman series in 2019.
Yeah, an anime series. Hopefully it gets more than 4 episodes.
Only 30 years too late.
Yeah, yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
No one gives a fuck, Chuck.
Put down your copy of Ready Player One, Chuck. No one gives a shit about that stuff.
No.
It would be interesting. It's anime also, so.
Oh, that's why you think it's interesting. Like large drawn
I like the Voltron
breasts.
they've done. It was
they
good.
Have large breasts.
Not
I mean,
really.
considering
Chuck loves Voltron.
Voltron and some of the other stuff they've done.
Castlevania, even though it only had 4 episodes.
Castlevania.
That was good. It's getting a second season later October. But no, Ultraman, I think that I think it would be good.
You know it needs a
I even
second
like the
season? You're cooking. It's so bland.
Don't cook.
All right, we also got a new casting in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Apparently, Nicolas Cage is going to be voicing the Spider-Man Noir.
Nope, not for it.
Good for him.
I'm all for
absolutely,
this.
yeah.
That's such
For
an
it.
odd
Bring him
choice.
on.
Especially for Noir.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's going to be great.
No, I think that's a good casting. I'm excited to see that.
Well, have you noticed how Parker sounds in the movie also? In the trailer, he seems kind of
that's
scummy.
Nick from New Girl.
Yeah.
I'm saying he just seems kind of like he's a sleazy guy.
No,
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's linking through
watch it
alleys
again.
and
He's
Not a
kinda
rooftops.
sleazy
sleazy.
guy.
No, just kind of a slacker.
These are
Yeah.
But I love how you're saying people are.
Oh,
getting
people are
upset
losing their shit because they think Nick Cage is going to play Spider-Man in a live-action movie. Man, it's
Which
like,
I'd
if you
kinda
would
be
just
down
read
for
these
as well.
articles at all, or anything.
I think Nick Cage would be a fantastic Spider-Man Noir.
I think he should play every superhero.
yeah.
Maybe Superman. I think he would do great
Yes.
at that. In fact, I wish there were some pictures floating around online of him being suited up as Superman.
Actually, I think he is Superman's voice in the Teen Titans Go movie.
I think he does do in one of the
Really?
Nice. Cartoons, I believe.
my favorite choice for voice actor for superhero has got to be Diedrich Bader for Batman on
That's
Batman the
fucking
Brave and the
awesome.
Bold.
Yes.
The fucking, dude from Office Space, Peter, turn it on Channel 9. They're doing breast exams.
Fucking A, man.
Fucking A. I don't hear Batman say fucking A.
It looks like also a live-action Gundam movie is in the works by Legendary Films, which is more interesting than the
It could go
Ultraman.
either way. Well, I mean, there's giant fucking mechs in it, so that
Yeah.
would be awesome.
I mean, there's no way they could mess that up and get
They
bad
could mech
ticket
that.
sales
Yeah.
Yeah.
or anything.
Back it up. That's
Really?
good.
That's what it takes.
Sony Pictures announced this week that they're going to be doing a movie based on Valiant Comics' Faith.
Well, wait, was there any details for Gundam, or
No, that was about it.
Is it
they're
live?
going to be
It is full live action.
Yeah, it's supposed to be full live action, but that's
Cool.
about all they've really got right now on
Should be
it.
shitty.
We'll see how it goes.
But Valiant
Probably
Comics'
shitty.
Faith movie is it has been announced. Faith is a
Plus side.
plus-sized. She's a geeky teen obsessed with comics and science fiction, and she has powers that are like flight and telekinesis. So like,
Well,
basic
that would be
superpowers.
nice
yeah.
If you had a plus size body, I know not everybody.
Well, and
Got a
they're
plus-size
already
body
working
like
on the
me.
Bloodshot
Faith.
movie that's going to be coming out, and it starts shooting this month. So there's a couple of Valiant things kind of down the road.
Like Valiant Thor.
I don't know what that is.
It's a metal
So
plant.
here's the plan, guys.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to go see these Valiant movies
Mm-hmm.
and not go see their Spider-Man movies.
Oh, Sony's.
Yes.
So they'll take the
So they're
take
like,
the
hey,
bait.
yeah, Valiant movies are where it's at. We need to get rid of the Spider-Man shit that's holding
Maybe
us
we
back.
can get some cash
Extra.
Yes.
to do more Valiant movies.
Exactly.
Another movie that TJ is really going to want to go see is it's called Top Gun 2.
Oh,
It's called Top Gun Maverick is the title. We've already talked about this, but Miles Teller was cast in this. You might know Miles as Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four. He was also in Whiplash. The director of this is Joe.
Dude's a dick from what I heard, but he's also a really
yeah.
good actor.
Yeah,
Really good. I love Whiplash. That was great.
and Joseph Kaczynski is going to be directing. He's directed Oblivion and Tron Legacy. This is basically supposed to be Goose's son, and he is Tom Cruise he's Tom Cruise's protege.
okay.
So that's the story that they're going with this.
Val Kilmer is supposed to be in it too.
Yeah, Val Kilmer
Which
and
is
Tom's
crazy. I was
both of them are
watching
coming back.
an interview with him on a radio show not so long ago. He had like voice or throat cancer,
Really?
and yeah, he talked.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I mean he's doing good, but his voice and like his whole body demeanor, you could barely understand him, like because he had fucking throat cancer. They had to operate on him. So I'm like, when is he shooting this? When is it? Because like he doesn't look movie ready.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just gonna have him like far away in like planes, so all you see is just like a helmet.
He just gives a thumbs up
yeah.
and does his teeth clamp like.
I'm Val Kilmer. There's just like, or there's just ice cubes. Everyone like, Iceman's been here.
The most important question
Murder mystery.
for this movie, though, Kenny Loggins.
What is the weight capacity on a fighter, on a modern fighter? Can it support all these old fools?
Oh. And what is Kenny Loggins up to these
What do you
days?
guys talking about? They're going to get like some.
Back into the danger zone.
They're going to get Fallout Boy to do it, and it'll be all shit like
oh,
a
God.
I
Ghostbusters
wanna-
thing.
in the
Fucking
80s?
fight you.
In the 80s, who was a better hype man though than Kenny Loggins?
Randy Newman.
No.
You fly in a jet plane. We're gonna kill the Russians. Flying into the sky.
All right, so I guess everyone's looking forward to this Top Gun too.
That MiG suit and
I can't remember the last time I
gun.
saw the first
It's
one.
another
It's been years.
movie that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have
Except
never
Tom
seen
Cruise.
Top Gun, and
What?
I'm okay with that.
You have never seen Top Gun.
Never seen Top Gun.
You've seen Days of Thunder though.
I've seen Days of
Okay,
Thunder.
all right.
I've seen Hot Shots. Never seen
you're-
Top Gun.
you don't need to worry
Oh,
about Top
man.
Gun then.
I watched Top Gun when I was like in my 20s. I didn't grow up watching it either.
Yeah.
And I remember just watching going like, why do fucking people love this movie
Yeah,
so much?
Whatever.
It's-
That's when I
'cause I
first
was
started hanging out
I
with
thought
you.
this would be a movie that just would be right up Mike's alley, though. I mean, it's
That's
got
true.
fighter jets and all kinds of shit. And
Homoerotic.
When do I
volleyball.
talk about fighter jets?
All the time.
Many suits, fuckers.
You walk
Yeah.
around in those fighter jet sunglasses.
Sure do.
You know what? If those fighter jets turned into mechs and started beating the shit out of each other, yeah, I would like to see that. But no, they don't
So basically
transform.
Gundam.
Or Robotech.
or Robotech. That's
Isn't Gundam a
Starscream.
part of Robotech?
I don't know.
you have asked a question that I don't think any of us can answer now.
Because I know Macross is a part of
need to-
Robotech.
We need to just Homer Simpson into the bush meme
Google,
right now.
that's us.
Well, I
the
feel
bush
really
meat?
dumb because we're like, what's Comcast going to do with movies? And then they fucking own NBC and Universal. And I'm like, God, I'm a fucking idiot. Why doesn't anybody listen to our podcast?
All right, and the last piece of news that we've got today, the co-creator of Spider-Man, Steve Ditko, died this week at the age of 90.
The Bears.
Come on, motherfucker.
Damn it.
It's pretty funny.
That's-
No, the whole when you
that
said
was his brother, Mike.
when you said Steve Ditko, I was like, holy shit, Mike Ditka died. And then I realized, like, oh, that's just something I don't give a fuck about.
Oh man,
Damn, Chuck took off his fucking headset.
I edit every bit of this out.
Insensitivity over here.
I mean,
I wasn't
Chuck,
expecting
one of the
the
things-
Bears
A
at
comic
all.
legend died, Chuck. Put it together.
I wasn't expecting
one of the things that
Bears.
really gets me about this story, though, is that, I mean, he's older, so I understand
Yeah.
that sometimes it takes a couple days for someone to find out that you died.
Yeah.
But it took like a week for this to get out to the media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did it
which
take
was-
a week to find him, or did they just sit on it?
No, I guess nobody was kind of looking around or something like that. That's the only thing I can figure, because it took a week from
Yeah.
the time that, because they said they think he died on the 27th, and that they found his body on the 29th, and then the news broke on the 6th.
yeah.
So,
So it had been a little while.
yeah. So, man, that's a long time for no one to notice that you died.
But didn't they say they couldn't find any but like family members or anything?
Yeah, he has no immediate
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
So that's gonna be probably an issue there.
Maybe not. But he was definitely a legendary creator. He
Yep.
is responsible for the classic look of Spider-Man. Stan Lee will always talk about how Kirby drew Spider-Man, and he thought he drew him too big, too muscular, and Ditko
Drew him as
drew
a
him
teenager.
as a teenager like he wanted him.
Yeah.
So definitely a huge loss to the comic book community.
Yeah.
So.
And then Doctor Strange as well.
yes, yeah, co-creator of Doctor Strange.
Squirrel Girl,
Yeah,
I mean,
unbelievably.
he lived to be 90.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
He got
Good for
a
him.
nice long
Yeah,
haul
he had
out
a
of
good,
it.
good. He got to enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. So that's it with news. Y'all want to come back and talk about some Ant-Man and Wasp, or do some mailbags?
We can do both.
Let's do
Mailbag
both.
Wasp News. Yeah, welcome back to the Nerd On. This is a Nerd On.
We
Welcome
already
on
did that.
to the
Mailbag?
news, right with news. No, wait, we've done that. Mailbag.
Can we
There
have
it is.
mailbag music?
No,
Jesus.
this is our Ant-Man and Wasp.
Nate, you
No,
really
we
have
said
been
we were going to do
a while.
mailbag, and
Well, I
then
didn't play the mailbag
you
music.
didn't listen to direction. You're a lot like Chuck, where you don't pay the fuck attention when we talk.
Let's talk about Ant-Man and Wasp then. God.
All right, there. Are y'all happy?
That's right,
Yes.
fucker.
That's exactly what you were looking for. All right,
All right,
guys.
there's no mail today, so let's go.
All right, so we had a couple of, at least one, maybe a couple. I'll look them up while we're
Somebody
answering them.
posted a question like on last week's mailbag.
Oh, that's true. I'll have to go
Yeah.
look that up.
I think it was Bremen.
It was Bremen. Okay, so Jack asks, if you could swap out any actor in a sci-fi movie, who would you go with? Personally, I like Joe Pesci as Batman.
Batman's not a great sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad sci-fi movie.
I think
So-
I would replace most of the leads in any sci-fi with Bill Paxton.
I just
Correct,
want
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton playing every part.
Yeah.
One-man show starring Bill Paxton.
It'd be like the Nutty Professor with Bill Paxton. Got Friday night at 8. Myself for date. No,
I don't know. Who would we want to trade out?
Women be shopping.
we'll pick one classic sci-fi and then we'll replace the lead actor.
Okay.
That'll be our answer.
Everyone pick one on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Predator.
There we go. All right, you got our answer.
There you
All right, moving
They
on
should replace Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar with Woody Harrelson.
with Woody Allen.
I'm so nervous about going up into space. Oh, I just want to stand on here with my corn. Can I do that?
My corn. Bree asks, what are your favorite movies /show episodes to watch in the summertime?
I like to watch K2, the movie where they climb the ice mountain because it cools me down. I like Cool Runnings.
Cool.
Alive.
Yes, Alive.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. The Day After Tomorrow, because of all the blizzards, it looks very comfortable.
Yeah, it's very, very
The Thing.
cold. Yeah, the
Yeah,
thing.
The Thing. Yes, exactly. How to Build an Igloo, starring
Jack Frost, the horror movie, and the Michael Keaton family-friendly movie.
Side note, same movie.
it's just edited slightly differently.
All right, we've got, let's see, couple of things on Instagram. First off, someone said, LOL, I love this. Feel free to check out my comedy music podcast, link in the bio.
Here, click the link. Let's just...
Brendan, no thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Then the Sprite Show said, life is so awesome, huh?
That's a good question. Answer is no.
Depends on who you ask.
Suck it. And JTAT Peak says, are any of you watching Legion on FX? I'm watching it on a jailbroke Fire Stick, and it's so mind-melting.
Probably because your Fire Stick's putting out some serious
Some serious
radiation.
Byproduct is radon and carbon monoxide.
You shouldn't have broke it and then still plug it in. But BT Dubs, yes, I am
We were
Watching
talking
in
about this
jail.
a little bit earlier. Nathan
Yeah, if
is
you listen to the podcast we just recorded, you know.
Yeah, so answer is earlier.
I
I'm
have
starting
watched
it this
season
week.
1. Nathan's watching part of season 1. Season 2's not on Hulu or anything yet, so we have not. I have not been watching that because I can't yet. So I love it. I think it's great.
I second that.
I disagree.
Now can we talk
wholeheartedly.
about Ant-Man and Wasp?
Oh, yeah. Okay, play the
Yes.
Ant-Man and Wasp music.
Hey guys, welcome back to Nerds Who Get Laid. We're here to talk about Ant-Man and Wasp.
I did not see it, so I am
Not going to talk about
not
it.
going to talk about it.
Shut up.
Would you like to leave early so you don't hear the
I don't want to hear
spoilers?
spoilers.
Well, we haven't done spoilers yet. We don't do spoilers.
I don't care
until
what
we
you guys
say.
think about it, so I watch it.
Okay,
I know you guys like
I
it.
forgot Nathan hasn't seen it before us, so it's okay. We can't spoil
yeah, we
it
can't
yet.
spoil it.
No, you can talk about it.
But you said
Now.
spoilers actually enhance the experience.
Enhance this experience.
Yes.
Enhance.
Think
the
of an
experience.
episode name.
Oh, now
Bye.
you want to change it.
All right, so let's talk about Ant-Man and Wasp now that we got that asshole out of here.
Yes.
It's fucking terrible. Let's end the
Oh,
stinking
podcast.
Joe asshole.
That's all I wanted to
It
say
can
about
only
it.
go up from here on out.
Yeah, that's true.
So we went and saw this Thursday night when it came out. What?
Yeah.
And what was everyone's initial thoughts on it? Like it, hate it, thought it could
I
be
liked
better.
it. I thought it was fun.
Mhm.
I think it told the story it wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you could really
Well,
improve.
I've been thinking about this, and I don't know quite how to classify it. I don't want to say it's mediocre because it's not, but it just has it built into the movie that it's not going to be as high a caliber a movie
It's a
as,
lighter
say,
film.
like an Infinity War type movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just things just don't seem as epic, and I guess that's kind of the point. But the movies tend to want to tell a pretty simple story, and it gets its point across. But I mean, the things they do are done really well. There was just nothing in the movie that like left me shaken, like other movies have. You know, so
It's not the caliber of, like you said, in an Infinity War.
but it's not bad.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
So I just don't quite know what to say about it without it sounding like I didn't like
And
it or I thought
I
it was
feel like
bad.
It doesn't have the shock value and stuff of like a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like it's more like Deadpool than it would be like.
Because
I
it's
think
a smaller
Infinity War is not a fair comparison.
So I think an epic, like Mike said, epic is a very overused word these days. But that was
along with Game Changer.
that was an epic, game-changing film.
So I think this is more like Deadpool, where it has a story to tell. It tells its story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not trying to have
Changing effects.
World-changing. No, it's not going to be the end of the world if Ant-Man doesn't stop the Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that, what did y'all think of Ghost
I thought Ghost
as
was
a villain?
done really well. I thought she was a good villain.
She's a good villain because she's a likable villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see her motivations. You can tell why she's doing the things she's doing. Like just,
And it's not a horrible motivation either.
Yeah.
no.
So
And a great design. Great design.
design was great. The way that they showed her powers.
Yeah. I thought her
were done
visuals were
very
really
well.
good.
Yeah, 'cause was it Mike who pointed out, or was it you, TJ? Where it was like
Mike pointed out.
where you see her, but like you see an effect of her to where she looks normal, but you see another one that's screaming, another one that's smiling, like just different emotions, like, phasing out. So it's like, how did you describe it as? It was like in different quantum realms. She was like just reacting differently.
Kind of what I was saying was like the effect of it was, the visual was she was constantly shifting because the suit didn't give her powers. Her she didn't really have powers. She was just basically phasing between quantum
realm.
I guess quantum states of being, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And at sometimes it looked like that the movement was just kind of telegraphing what she was doing. Like there would be kind of a visual fan of her body, walking forward, and then she would kind of walk forward and meet up to it. And there were other times where like it would focus on her face, and the cosmic shift or the quantum shift of her features would look completely different. Like she would have like a snarl, but her face in the real world was a smile or something different. And, we were kind of discussing whether that was her existing within different dimensions, or if those were because quantum quantum physics and all that shit deal with, the probability and branching off of different realities. So are these her reactions in different versions and different dimensions of what's happening now, or is it just an effect? I mean, either way, I thought it was pretty cool.
I like that explanation better. I think it feels more like I'm going to do air quotes science.
Yeah. Comic science.
Yeah, the comic science that's going on in this movie anyway. And that's what I think. That's my personal thing that I would like.
What were some of y'all's what was y'all's favorite part about the film?
Well, I think going in the quantum realm was pretty cool. The fact that they had tardigrades in there, those little like crazy water bear things that they just recently discovered, and now they're in the movie. The suits are great. The fight choreography was great. I haven't enjoyed some of the humor. The last one, I thought the humor was kind of corny, but
the first Ant-Man.
Yeah, but I thought it went over well. The movie had a lot of heart to it as well.
Yeah,
there were a lot of scenes where I was like, trying to keep the sweaty eyes, up in its place.
I didn't really have any sweaty eyes in this one.
Well, I don't know. I think just, like him tracking down his wife and everything is improbable that would be she survived 30 years within the quantum realm, but she got like, quantum powers, I guess. So I felt that was pretty endearing. The one thing that I thought was funny, because I saw a meme about this beforehand, but it was just kind of a 2-panel meme, and one was like, so you shrink and maintain all of your mass. It's like, okay, so how the fuck is he carrying around a tiny building? And the bottom of it's just like a shittily drawn picture of Michael Douglas, like what's the deal with it? And it just says like Pym particles, bitch. I don't have to explain nothing. But just the scene where, like in the 80s, when the original Ant-Man and Wasp were on that like crazy ass Soviet missile, is so fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Because you were saying also the CGI for making people look young in this
really
good.
Yeah. So I mean, you really wouldn't have to worry about Iron Man looking old. You could just CG him. I mean, you could kind of still tell. I mean, just because that Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer are not these ages, but it looks so good, like better than Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I thought Leia was kind of but it might be along the same things of Hot Toys head sculpts. It's just easier to sculpt dudes' faces than women's faces. So who knows? But I mean, it looked like Michael Douglas from Romancing the Stone.
They have a ton of reference material for both of those two at those
exactly.
ages.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It was just like it blew me away. There were times I could not tell it was CGI, and that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the bad things about it? What was anything you didn't like about it?
I feel that
the one part that I really had an issue with was when he was shrunk down to the size of a little kid.
Oh god, like the little midget kid in the school.
Yeah, like I don't think that was very funny.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that funny.
That was almost trying to pull from like Deadpool humor. It felt like, but it didn't go far enough.
Yeah,
or it was one of those things that was just kind of in the middle and just wasn't as funny as it could have been. And
because it was funny is when he got too big when he was in the hall closet.
Yeah,
and he's hitting his head, but the opposite when he was just a little munchkin from the Wizard of Oz. Just
yeah. I liked when he got huge. Those parts were kind of fun. When he got stuck at the very large sizes, especially at the ferry. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
when he came up out of the water like a kaiju.
Yeah, no, he's flipping his feet like a fucking whale tail, and yeah, that shit was funny.
I guess the only thing I had an issue with was just the time of the events for the movie.
Oh god.
No, I mean that's the only thing. That's the only issue I had.
Okay.
But what does that even mean?
It means like they didn't know at all what the fuck was going on
in New York and the rest of the world.
Like the
in
FBI
San Francisco
is kicking down this dude's door every week and worried about parole.
Yeah.
While the New York is being fucking destroyed and like nobody's mentioning it.
If you think about it, you see them most of the time and nobody's watching the TV.
Oh no.
So, and business still has to go on.
And I don't think Infinity War wasn't like
I don't think it was
weeks
concurrent.
long.
Yeah, it was like a day or two. It wasn't
real long. So like this could have happened long enough before that wasn't even going on yet.
And I think it does because
Ant-Man Wasp was 3 days because he had
that's
3 days
fine.
left before he got his bracelet.
So spoilers from here on out. I guess.
Yeah, spoilers. So guys, from here on out, we're gonna have spoilers for Ant-Man and Wasp. So if you haven't watched it yet, cut it off.
Okay. So from the end of the movie,
Yep.
okay, until the mid-credit scene, there's an indeterminate amount of time there.
Yeah,
So the stuff that's going on in the rest of the Ant-Man movie,
they've already built the new thing inside the van and everything.
Yeah.
So that could be like several days. So I think this could have been like a week before
Sure.
Infinity War.
I didn't think about that,
yeah,
but you did get the snap.
Yeah, you got the after effects of the snap in the mid
Eradicated the
scene.
entire Pym family.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and Scott's just stuck right now.
And that was another question I brought up. Was Scott immune to the snap because he was in the quantum realm when it happened?
Yeah.
Or did he simply not get chosen? And will that play a part in the new Infinity War movie?
I think it will play a part. But me and Katie were talking earlier, and so let's say he can go back in time and everything through one of the time vortexes they talk
Well,
about.
they talked about time vortexes. Yeah.
He doesn't know what the fuck Thanos is.
Exactly.
So if he does go back in time, he's just kind of back
It's
in
like
time.
an endless loop that's just going to fucking happen.
Yeah, he's just back in time. So he's going to be. What can he warn anybody about?
Yeah, he can't warn anyone because he doesn't know. Unless he somehow is able to find out before. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the quantum realm might be outside of this universe that we're in. So I think he was just immune.
Yeah, I
for
think
that
so. I
reason.
think so too, Mike. You brought up a very good point on that.
I don't think his kid was immune, though.
We'll have to see.
I was hoping they wouldn't show that, but I was like, if you want to make it a good kind of hard sell on this thing, you do that. But yeah,
but I think
with the ant playing the drums at the end, I'm like, there's no one in that house at all, and I'm like,
well, his daughter didn't live with him.
No,
I know, but she did visit him.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she was there.
I'm just saying. Why would they
Arguing
show his
semantics
house?
here.
Yes,
Dumb
exactly.
things.
I did like the emergency broadcast signal on the TV.
Yeah.
Thought that was really good.
The one thing that I kind of didn't like with the movie, and it's just a general gripe, was that even though the movie was fun and well done, I didn't feel there's no gravity to it. Like, I felt like everything was just happy-go-lucky the whole time. You know, there's no sense of urgency or just weight to it. It's like it didn't matter what happened, and I guess that's kind of maybe the point. But they could have done nothing and, let Michelle Pfeiffer die or whatever, and then
nothing would have changed.
Nothing would have changed
for anybody. So that's the downside to what we were talking about earlier.
To having all these other things like Infinity War and
so we have a fun
Ragnarok.
story that's a fun story and it's kind of self-contained, but then there's no real consequence to it either.
Yeah. So there is a double, like, it's nice to have something a little bit lighter.
It was a palate cleanser.
The last few we've had have been Ragnarok and Infinity War, and both of those were what?
Ragnarok, Black Panther, then Infinity War.
Black Panther as well. So none of those are like real fun-loving films, although Ragnarok did have a lot more joking and stuff like that in it. Like, still, all of Asgard got destroyed and everything, and Thor lost his eye and all kinds of stuff like that. So it was nice to get a little kind of a palate cleanser, but it doesn't feel like it's on the same
well,
level.
he's a different level character.
Absolutely. It's the same thing with like Homecoming was the same kind of way.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's Vulture, and he was a badass villain, but
His
he was
severity,
also just...
There's no real severity to it.
Yeah, for the rest of the world, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this on the... Oh, shit.
What?
I'm trying to think of how to word this. It was the lack of stakes that we were talking about. I think one of the things that really kind of got me was, and I know it's a stupid thing to get hung up on, but he leaves like the lab on an ant, and he's got to beat the feds to his house and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking supersonic ant right here.
Maybe he just flies really high.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's just one of those silly things that just shouldn't bother you, but it's like...
Well, I mean, it's comic science.
I know.
It's movie science, so...
To me, it felt like the overall... Like, I enjoyed the movie, but it just seemed... it's on par with the first Ant-Man.
Yeah, I
there's some things that were better in the second one, but there's some things that fell short in the second one compared to the first.
Now, talking about the comedy in it, how did y'all feel about the comedy in this? Because I know Marvel movies get a lot of flack for the comedy, but this is a lighter film.
I'm probably the minority in the room, but I like Luis in both movies.
No, I like Luis too.
Okay,
he is a gimmick, but I think he does his gimmick well.
He
Truth
does.
Serum.
Man,
I love that. I love the Truth Serum.
That was and
the
really
two
good.
partners with the Babu Yaga or whatever.
That was really good.
Here we go.
And they set up a lot of jokes at the beginning that really kind of pay off later on too. Here you go, Mike.
What you got, Mike?
Oh, let's see. There's an internet theory going around. I just read.
Thank God.
Said Marvel saw the post about how Ant-Man could defeat Thanos by crawling into his ass and instantly growing in size, and that's why they didn't put him in the movie.
That's why he had to be gone. No. But overall, we think it's a good movie. Like, how many? What are you rating it, Mike? It's that hard. It's a hard one.
I would say probably 7.5.
Okay.
Out of 10 jalapenos.
Yeah, I would give it a solid 7.5 jalapenos.
It's not average.
I can't even say what's keeping it away from the top spot.
It had heart, but it just didn't seem like it was. It was nothing new. It's like you've been there before in a way.
I would absolutely recommend people go see it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I put this on kind of the same level as like Deadpool and Solo. I mean, these are
watch them
really good movies. They're fun popcorn movies for the summer, and enjoy them. It's not going to be that earth-shattering thing like you got in Infinity War, and it's not going to be a cultural event like Black Panther was.
And I don't think it's gonna, like, if you don't go see this, I don't think it's gonna play into Avengers 4. I don't think you're gonna miss out on a lot.
I think the only thing that may play into Avengers 4 is going to be Scott in the quantum realm.
Yeah. But I think they'll still sort of explain it enough in that. I would say go see it.
Definitely.
Regardless. But yeah, I don't think you'll miss out on a lot. Chuck, what's your rating on this?
I'm going to go with you guys.
7.5?
About the 7.5 range, because it's not
DJ?
bad, but it's not average.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check that out, guys. And that's pretty much it for us.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm fucking spent for the week.
Yeah, we're done. Let's
turn this shit off.
Fuck
I gotta
you
go
guys.
to work.
Later, talk to you next week.
This mic got turned off. Okay.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks World Wide podcast network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod podcast network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks Assemble!